swatching video, which I'm super excited about. And oh man, I battled the ADHD instant dopamine requirement and I have not swatched it. I picked this up yesterday. What I did do, these samples have been funded from a couple of pen sales. So there's like 24 odd samples in here. I'll split the video most likely. And I separated, like I cut them out of the plastic and stuff and I just separated them into brands and things like that. So I did that, but I have not swatched. I have not done anything. But I'm really, really excited. And I have to say, the women at Soe and Soe are so lovely. When I put the order in and I realized I'd done a duplicate of one, and I just emailed them saying, oh, look, I made a mistake. Is there any chance I can swap out for the same value? This is another one I was looking at, but really whatever. And it was like instant reply saying yes, had done it, and then got the order out so fast. So just want to praise that. So here are my little piles. I've separated them into, I think I did 4 piles maybe. And I think this is the one I want first. So I'll see how long this video takes, but I got 2, 4, 6, 8 samples of Fanyantan. So I'll start with that and I'll do them to 1 page. And then if this isn't a super long video, I'll do some KittyInkpot ones, and then, because I think I have like 5 of those, and then I'll do another video with kind of the rest, but we'll see how long this takes. A bit better. It is, I'm working from home today and I'm just doing this on my lunch break because I'm excited. And I have a mixture here. So an awesome thing about Soe and Soe is you can get the 2 ml, but then they also do a 5 and sometimes 10 ml glass bottle dropper samples. And then Fanyantan also has some of their own glass bottles. I really like the 5 ml option for some, like if you want to just do it a little bit more. I'm not going to do these in any particular order, but this page will be for Fanyantan. I've tried a couple of Fanyantan ink samples before, not tons though. So it's a brand that I'm excited, I guess, to extend my knowledge and experience about. Oh, I've just looked outside. It is raining cats and dogs. It is so cold here and dark at the moment. Summer has definitely left us behind. I actually really like winter. But to start off, I opened it, but I'm not going to write, like I'll write the name, but I'm not going to then write every brand like Fanyantan 8 times. That seems a bit ridiculous. But we're starting with Distant Wind and Dust, which is a green ink. I think of all the samples that I chose, they're all new to me. Ooh, thus far, liking what I see. Straight away, what jumps out to me is that kind of brown breakaway that you're seeing there. I always am interested to see how it actually feels like on a nib. What did we say this was? Distant Wind. So look, in terms of how it's drying, look at when it dries down and that green is just kind of disappearing. It felt quite nice coming off that. Oh, I need to do a little cross in the tea. One moment, caller. Interested to see how that writing sample dries down. Hopefully it's not too light, but it doesn't look like it will be. Oh wow, it is storming like you would not believe. Sometimes when I think about other inks, it reminds me of, I usually kind of like to do that when they're dry. I'm just flicking through my little binder here. But yeah, I might wait when I come back when it's dry because it can look so different. I also started this little side project when I was sick because I just needed something to do. I really like the Wearingle swatch cards, but the ink can look quite different. So I have just on loose leaf paper on Stalogy and then on Tomoe River, just been doing samples of everything because my journal's a Stalogy. So I've done that by ink brand at the moment because who are we if we don't redo our swatch system once every 6 months, once every 3 months? Let's see. I love, I don't know if you can see this bit here when it's starting to dry. The brown's like gone a little bit warmer. The ink that's jumping out at me straight away is Elegy of the Fallen. If I can find that somewhere. Why don't I stick to what I said before and do it at the end? The next one is Plum Blossom Cake. Now, I mean, the words plum are in it, so probably a surprise to no one the kind of colorway we're going to be in, and therefore why I chose it, because these dark red burgundy inks make me so incredibly happy. I am loving young wine from Pannonia at the moment, or Mustrovos. This is oh wow. Ooh. Let's do another dip. Blossom. That is gorgeous. It actually kind of reminds me of that young wine ink, actually. But yes, let's listen to what I said before, Sarah, and look at the comparisons at the end. It always amazes me when people can do the exact same type of squiggle every time. I cannot, does not matter how hard I try, cannot at all. I'm just looking at the haloing in this one. That's come up now that it's drying. I think it will be dark enough. It didn't feel super dry coming off that nib. I mean, it is a dip nib, so we have to take that into account. But this is just gorgeous. Next up, 90,000 Miles. I really like the names of the, I don't know the full, obviously, like the Fanyantan catalogue, but of the ink selection that was on Soe and Soe, a pretty decent collection as well. Oh, I did the wrong thing. There's something about, I think when you look at Asian ink brands and the poetry in the naming of the inks, I find so beautiful. So yes, I did get 1 or 2 blues as I continue to try and expand in that and try and find ones I like, and I am leaning, it's the non-saturated ones that do make me feel happier. So this is, ooh, does she know how to spell 90? Well, 90. That is not neat. It's almost like speckled through there. That also felt quite nice on the nib. I almost feel like if you look at like a grey blue and sterling silver from Birmingham Pen Companies would be the warmer version, this could maybe be then the teal green cool version, like a cousin. I actually wonder if, as I look at it now as it's drying down, I don't think that really fits into a blue category. It's probably more in that teal leaning green. But it is beautiful. I'm also trying really hard to say less. look at this as it dries down. Did you see how green it was when it went down? And then look at it now, just the array of colors in there. The brownie yellows, the brownie reds, that black halo, really gorgeous. My voice is almost back. This is the one we have next. Cicada Rain. It is very close to being back. I'm still having some coughing fits at night, but I can hold a conversation. I can get through a work day without it then being completely gone at the end of the day, which is really lovely. Even my daughter was like, oh, Mama, your voice is getting normal. I was like, yes, it is. So this is cicadas just remind me of summer in Australia, that sound that you hear in the early evening. And then in some places it is so loud, like they just, take over everything. Yet you can't see them. What I'm loving with these inks so far is maybe like this one became quite present, but the subtle multi-shading, chroma shading that's coming up, like already in this one, I can just see the little bits of the brown coming through. And I don't, if you kind of know what a cicada looks like, and then it changes when they're dead, like the shell is that more brown, but then a live buzzing cicada is that kind of vibrant but light green. And I actually think those two look really beautiful together. So they were the 4 2ml samples, and then I have 3 Soe&Soe what are these called? Dropper bottles, and then a little Fanyantan one. I totally jinxed myself because I said my voice was coming back and I'm not coughing as much, and then proceeded to have a massive coughing fit, so had to stop for a little bit. But in doing so, I realized I actually have 7 Fanyantan ink samples in total. I had put a KittyInkpot bottle there. So I have 2 in the glass dropper and then the little Fanyantan bottle, and this one I'll start with. So I've just confirmed. Oh, but I have a little stopper I need to. I'm gonna get ink all over myself. I'm gonna get ink all. That's interesting. Like, I don't know if you can see like the purple there. I kind of want to very carefully just, it's not a shimmer or anything, but I don't know if any of the ink pigments have like split a little bit. So I just did a really gentle shaky do. So this one, and I love these little glass bottles, is called Moonlit Night, which I love. Look at that. Oh, I hope it's not too light. Let's give it a go. This is it's a grey, but just these undertones coming through. It's very dark in the writing sample, but I don't mind that. I really like finding like dark greys, like variations of black, and it felt really nice actually coming off that nib, I have to say. I think that's a really, really gorgeous ink. And even just swatching, that's just one I'm going to want to swatch again and again. It's so beautiful. Oh wow, that is gorgeous. So I feel apt that next to Moonlit Night, we will put in Morning Calm. I feel like, put a comment below if you are proud of me, as I am, of getting some blues to keep trying and keep expanding. Because the ones I've chosen I quite like. So this is Morning. Ooh. Calm. Which I like. I don't know if I'm going to get through the full 5 ml, but I will happily split it and pass some on to someone. And I think I would have liked it more if I'd done that first, but having done Moonlit Night, I'm just obsessed with this ink. And the little bits of teal coming through. I think these three thus far are just really speaking to me. But we'll finish up the Fanyantan ones with Dream Floating Bridge. Interesting, the qualities of this ink. It's got an interesting, kind of sticking to the glass bottle a little bit. Very interesting. Let me see what it's like here. It feels, what's the right descriptive word? Almost like a bit slick. It came off that little muddler very easily. It just, yeah, there's almost like aspects of it are kind of sticking to the glass bottle a little bit. And this is, whoa, there you go. All right, let me try and soak some of that up. How are we going on there? Yeah, that's an interesting ink. Wow. Dream. All right, we have to go in for another dip there, but let's see. I'm going to try and take most of it off. That's no pressure at all. And that's it running out. That is a super spreader, harking back to our COVID times. Look, as it's drying, the breakout is beautiful, but that's really interesting and maybe potentially a good option to put in a dry pen. You can see like the speckled brown throughout. So I will come back when I can to look at them dry and then see if they kind of are really reminding me of anything. Nothing's jumping out at me straight away. These here are probably in a bit of a new, yeah, I can't think of anything that's like super close. This is really interesting, just how that came off that nib then. And even on the muddler, it felt super slidey. And I don't know if it'll catch. I really don't think it's going to catch on the camera, kind of what I'm trying to describe. If you look at these two, can you see that this one here, so my left, almost looks slightly cloudy, the glass bottle. It just has there's something in there, the liquid makeup of it that's just sitting against that bottle differently, and then just the way it ran off that nib was pretty intense. But they are the 7 Fanyantan inks. I'll come back when they're dry and we can have a look, and I'll see how long this video was overall to then see if I want to do some KittyInkpot, or maybe I break that up into another video. But we shall be back soon. Bye. All right, she's back. Without a drink, I just walked into fun. I actually didn't get to look at the dry and other color comparisons. Apologies, it's my work phone. Yesterday, this is the next day. I've been doing, I think I've showed it before, just a little catalog on Tomoe River. So I've just pulled them out. I actually don't have many inks that are too similar, but I know that, I've heard some of the brands in that Soe&Soe stocks aren't super available elsewhere. So I just had a look, and the ones that kind of seemed similar or familiar to me for the 90,000 miles was Story Blue from Ferris Wheel Press, which I actually really like. This is darker, and I don't know if you can see in the writing sample, this one looks more green, whereas this looks more blue, but there is a similarity there. I mean, Moss Park Green, it's a little bit different. For the Plum Blossom Cake, I had a couple different options. Muddy Wine from Robert Oster is browner, and maybe leaning more red versus more pink. And just from looking at how it came off the nib, I would say that this one, the Fanyantan, is a wetter ink. Or again, slightly browner or less purple, but Kamoshika from Sailor, part of the Shikiori line. And then finally, for, oh, so much paper, for the distant sun and wind, looking at some of these KittyInkpot Chroma shaders. None of them are exactly the same, but in terms of the light, then with the darker haloing and then the mixture of the cool and the warm being kind of the bulk. I was kind of looking at Biggie Cat Bottle, Molten Ginger Cookie and Clouds Bringing the Autumn Colours would be the inverse, like the cooler, greener main ink and then the warmer brown haloing. But if you like these ones, I would say it's in the same family. So I said yesterday I'm going to split this swatching video into 2 parts. So this is still part of part 1. And this is what we'll do next, which is 5 KittyInkpot inks. And I'm super excited to start with the first one because it is a Soe and Soe exclusive, which is Moonlit Rose Garden. So I'm going to jump straight into it. And I am super excited to see how this goes. I don't know if you can tell, I'm filming this at similar time to what I did yesterday. Maybe a touch, oh no, I just dropped ink everywhere. A touch later. It's like overnight in Australia, in Melbourne. It's gone, oh, we have decided it's not winter anymore. Oh my God, I can't speak. We have decided it's not summer anymore. It has been cold and raining. And just, I can see even through the camera, it's more shadowy. Is it even in, I'm in focus. So this is a Soe and Soe exclusive. I don't know why I wrote that so small, but alas. Moon lit if you guys have watched the sip and swatch I did with Maria a little while ago now, the day that I'm filming this, I sent her I actually sent her a package this time round for our next sip and swatch that we're going to do together. And I put it in the mail ages ago and I finally got a, pardon me, I finally got a notification from Ozpost today that it's on the plane, it's on its way to America. So this is a cool blue grey, I want to say. I would like to see what it's like when it's dry. In the bottle, it looks like there's some hints of purple coming through, and I can't see that in the swatch just yet, but a really beautiful colour. And I feel like those murky, I guess, multi-shading blues, if I am going to go blue, seems to be what I'm drawn to. Now it's not so much a purple, but there's little bits of a pinky brown starting to come through, which is really, really beautiful. Oh, this is a long name. I've seen this one swatched before. This is Gramophone that can only rewind, the wrong emphasis. I have really liked, I want to do it down here so I have more room to write. Will she regret it? We shall see. I really liked this in the swatching videos I've seen thus far. I don't know if I've seen it in a currently inked. I would like to see what it looks like in a pen in terms of if it's too light or not. Gramo. I wasn't. Ooh, look at that. That is a beautiful, somehow cold and warm grey. I think that is a gorgeous ink. I really hope it doesn't dry down too light. And again, another one that looks so different in the vial. Oh, that's beautiful. What I was saying was that I actually wasn't supposed to be working from home today. I had such a mess of a morning. I did the drop-off. I realized somewhere in the drop-off that I'd left my phone at home, came home to grab my phone. Of course, it takes forever to find it. It's on a stool. I mean, it was right in front of my face, basically. And then as I get back in the car, someone has let their dog poop all over the actual road, and then cars have driven through it. And it was meters long, this area of dog poop. So then, of course, I get some on my shoe, and then I have to clean that. This is Wild Lily's Bloom again. Anyway, I get to work. Now, I usually get to work early because then I can leave early if need be, but also on busy, I'm always much more, what am I? I am much more productive in the first half of the day. So get to work, and then as I'm opening the door, and I'm still there before 9, but a lot later than I usually do, and then they're like, shh, right in the reception bit. I've got 2 more. The next one we'll do is, let's do Lamb's Carnival Night next. And they're doing acoustic testing in the office, and the office is all hot desking. So I can't sit in the pod desk that I've booked. I can't make any of the confidential calls or supervisions that I need to make or do. And it's all a mess. Anyway, that finally stops. I'm able to book in I booked a small meeting room, having said to one of my staff members, can we just push supervision back an hour or so? We start that, and then I hear the loudest banging, like could not hear what the person was saying to me. So I said, look, I'm so sorry. Look at that. I'm going to say that's not blue-grey. That's going to go blurple. Can we just look at gramophone as it's drying? The level of colour in there, I'm worried it's going to be too light in a pen. Just the lightness of that green. Also how crazy in terms of what it goes down as, versus then what it looks like as it dries. I do worry that could be too light. And this one here actually is really complex and beautiful as well. Sailing to Greet the Moon will be the last one that we do. And then I go back out to reception. Turns out after the acoustic thing was being done, people were in tilers, I guess, like they needed to fix the toilets and bathrooms and could I work upstairs? Potentially, yes, you can still hear the banging, but it didn't solve all of the, I needed a private space, and there's lots of meeting rooms downstairs. So I ended up then saying to the staff I manage, saying to staff I don't manage, but if you need to go home and work from home, you can, because they were doing 3 or 4 bathrooms. It's going to take all day. Sailing. And I let my manager know. And then got home. And even though I was driving home this is all before 11 a.m. And I live a 20-minute drive from the office. And I wouldn't have thought there'd be traffic in the middle of the day. And it took me 35 minutes to get home. Oh my goodness. And so then I've just done so much work. I don't even know what time it is now. 3 o'clock. I haven't had a lunch break. And I just had a cup of tea, and I was like, I want to swatch these. These are beautiful. Sailing to Greet the Moon, again, as I was trying to try blues, the thing that's jumping out at me straight away in terms of what it reminds me of is Jacaranda from Diamine, which I do actually quite like and I have used. I can't think of any for these ones. These two here, Lamb's Carnival Night and Moonlit Rose Garden, I would say almost cousins. But this one here, Wild Lilies Bloom Again, I find super, super intriguing. And I am a little bit worried that Gramophone is going to be too light. I have to really think carefully about the pen choice that I use. But the complexity of that ink, I think, is really beautiful. So 3 p.m, having my lunch break, and let's swatch 5 KittyInkpot inks. That's what they look like there. Awesome. So that is half my Soe and Soe order. I'll just grab. These are the inks that I will do in part. I don't know what that's in there for. 2. How many do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. There are a couple from the same brand, but I'll just go through. We'll see if I can get them all on one page or not. And I will show this page dried at the start of that video. If you could hit like and subscribe, that always really helps me out. It just helps me kind of find new people really to chat pens and ink about, which I love to do. And if you actually have put Gramophone that can only rewind in a pen, can you, I really would love to know how it went. Did you find it too light? What like nib width and what pen did you put it in? Because I want to think about this a bit more. And like, look at that blue. I'm just going to bring it up one more time. It's such a fascinating ink. This is absolutely gorgeous. And so is Moonlit Rose Garden, really. So some beautiful, beautiful inks there. But yeah, if you've used this, let me know, and I will see you soon for the part 2 of my Soe and Soe little haul. And then after that, from the whole lot of pen selling that I did, round 2, pardon me, of the pen selling I did, I also put in a Dino Rights order, and then that's it. I'm not spending any more. Like, the whole point of this was not to spend more. It was just to go kind of thing for thing. And I was able to get, I got 4 or 5 ink samples and I got 2 pens. And that is in the ether with Ozpost, whatever the correct word is. So I'm really excited to try and get those videos done. And I, last night when I couldn't sleep, watched a Manda Inksplat, her latest new pen day video, and she did an unboxing. And one of my pens may be my first ever Benu, and I'm not going to open them. I'm going to do an actual unboxing inspired by Manda. So there you go. Standard, very rambly ending, but I will speak to you soon. Bye.